Hey crew, we have our second Void build adding to our series of the best build for each class and subclass. Now I want to cover 5 things really quickly before we get into the meat of this hunter build, because it seems a lot of you don't know about these 5 interactions in the game, and they are some really strong things that you can take advantage of to make an amazing build. First off is the fragment called Echo of Expulsion, and this states Void ability final blows cause targets to explode. Well, this actually works with Volatile Rounds because they are considered an ability kill, so with whatever Void weapon you might be using, if you have this fragment on, it basically adds a souped up dragonfly perk to your weapon, and it is so beautiful to look at when it goes off because we always have Volatile Rounds up thanks to our exotic armor we're using. Our second one here is running double special for more heavy ammo drops. In the gameplay I am running Wither Horde in my primary and the Void Hollow Denial Trace Rifle in my secondary slot. Now this has been in the game for quite a while now, but when you run double special, the game gives you way more heavy drops, which means we can use our heavy much more frequently without worrying about ammo. And on my crafted Hollow Denial, I actually have enhanced lead from gold and enhanced repulsor brace. So with lead from gold, picking up a heavy ammo also grants increased ammo to this weapon. So essentially I can run double special and have plenty of ammo and also get those 50% overshields way more often because the trace rifle with Volatile Rounds and Thought of Might hits pretty hard. So it's a lot easier to secure a kill for the overshield. Now third is Gerf versus Omni. Now don't get me wrong, both are great exotics, and the best way I can put this is Gerf is way more fun and stronger offensively, whereas Omni is more defensive and just a bit boring in my personal opinion. Now with 100 resilience, Devour healing on Void, 50% damage reduction overshields on Void, and the Well of Tenacity mod, which also adds a 50% damage reduction, the days of needing Omni for survivability is really in the past for me personally, and now Gerf just provides a way more fun playstyle, especially with the repulsor brace and the new machine gun this season, Retrofit Escapade. I just can't take off Gerf now when I'm on Void. Now the fourth thing I want to touch on really quickly is the Well of Tenacity mod. A lot of you said on my last video that it can't stack, and I want to show you how that's possible and why it's so important, not only with just this mod, but other time-limited mods like Font of Might. So at base, we get Well of Tenacity procced by picking up a Void Well, and it lasts for 5 seconds. We can further increase this just by having the Elemental Time Dilation mod on, and this will push it up to 8 seconds. So that's already pretty nice because we can probably pick up a well every 8 seconds or so to keep reprocking this, but if we put a second copy of Well of Tenacity on, we push it up to 12 seconds now. So when you have Well of Tenacity, a Void Overshield, and 100 Resilience all up at once, that's some crazy damage reduction. Then add in Devour for a full heal on a kill, and that's what's making Void so strong right now across all 3 Guardians. And this doesn't just work with Well of Tenacity, this works with Font of Might or Well of Life, anything that is a time-limited benefit from mods. Now last but definitely not least, we have the crazy Volatile Explosions that dish out some of the best damage in the game right now. This works just by passing a damage threshold, basically doing a ton of damage in a short period of time to trigger the extra damage from Volatile more rapidly. As you can see in the gameplay, I didn't even bring a barrier mod because I knew I could take down the barrier champions quick enough without even having to worry about their shield because I'm outputting so much damage so quickly. Now your combo to accomplish this with the build, the easiest is first have Font of Might up for that 25% damage boost. This technically isn't needed, but it means we need less stacks of the target lock perk on our heavy machine gun, which is nice. Second is to dodge and go invisible and place yourself in a good spot to damage the high health target or champion. Third is break your invisibility by shooting Wither Horde and sticking it on the enemy. This will tick for damage, which adds to the overall damage you're doing in a short period of time, and since you broke invisibility, you now have Volatile Rounds from our exotic. Fourth is throw a Vortex Grenade. This just adds more damage overall and applies the weakening debuff, so we're doing 15% more damage with everything. And then fifth and last is switch to your heavy machine gun, the Retrofit Escapade, and with the perk combo 4 times the charm and target lock, aim for the head and just hold down the trigger. Target lock is kicking in for even more damage, and we're getting free ammo with 4 times the charm. This is basically the overall combo you want to be doing to deal some serious damage with this build, and it's a ton of fun and so pretty to watch all the explosions happening. Also, the Wither Horde and Vortex Grenade combo is just a great combo as well for ad clear, so take advantage of that. And then lastly, your super can enhance this even further with a 30% debuff on a high health target, and you will be getting a ton of supers. I technically should have been using my super more often since you get it so fast, but I just get into having too much fun with Gerf right now. By the way, for all you YouTube channel members, I will have all 12 of these builds, one for each class and subclass, in a section on the website for you all to see all 12 in one easy place. That will be updated hopefully this weekend for you, so thank you all so much for being a member. If any of you would like to be a YouTube member and get some extra perks like I just mentioned, or the members Discord section, then the link is in the pinned comment for you to click on And thank you so much if you choose to do so, I really appreciate it. Now for the subclass, you can use either super you want to use. I still like Mobius Quiver in outputting that extra damage on top of things, but if you're doing something like a raid boss, then Deadfall is probably the way to go. For your dodge, you want to be using Marksman's Dodge. It has a quicker cooldown and it's going to reload our weapons for us. And then of course, Vortex Grenade, a grenade that creates that vortex that pulls targets inwards and continually damage those trapped inside. For your two aspects, I like Vanishing Step and Stylus Executioner. Vanishing Step, dodging makes you invisible, and we have a super quick cooldown time on our dodge. And then Stylus Executioner is defeating a weakened, suppressed, or volatile target, grants invisibility and true sight, and that's how we can loop our invisibility over and over with our exotic chest piece, because we're going to have volatile up all the time. Now for our fragments, I do like Echo of Expulsion. Void ability Final Blows cause targets to explode. This works with Volatile Rounds like I said earlier on our weapon. The second one is Echo of Undermining. Your void grenades weaken targets, so we get that weakening debuff on everything we tag with our grenades. We have Echo of Starvation. Picking up an Orb of Power grants Devour. We're always going to have Devour up. And then I do like Echo of Persistence. Even though we lose 10 mobility here, void buffs applied to you, invisibility, overshield, and Devour have increased duration. This just pushes our overshield, our Devour, and our invisibility up. Overshield gets close to 15 seconds, Devour is 15 seconds, and invisibility gets close to 12 seconds. So overall, it just makes the gameplay loop a bit easier because you just need a kill to keep up Devour every 15 seconds instead of every 10 seconds. For your stats on the build, you want to get 100 resilience. That's your first priority. And then second is mobility. I had 80 mobility in the gameplay. And then I also had 60 discipline in the gameplay. I actually only had 8 recovery on my hunter in this build that you're watching, but it doesn't really matter because we have Devour for healing and we have overshields. For the mods on the build, on the helmet, you want Harmonic Siphon, so those void double kills will create Orbs of Power. This is going to trigger Devour and proc a few other things for us. We had Ashes to Assets to get our super back quicker with grenade kills, and we're going to have a lot of vortex grenades that we're using. And then Bountiful Wells, so every time that we spawn a well, we're going to spawn 2 wells. On my chest piece, I had Reaping Wellmaker, so every time we dodge, when I come out of that dodge and I get a kill with a weapon, that will spawn a void well, and we do spawn 2 of those void wells because of our bountiful wells on our helmet. Now what we're going to be proccing with those void wells is obviously when you pick them up, you get that 10% ability energy to all of your abilities for both wells, which is just great. But on our gauntlets, we have Well of Tenacity, so when we pick up that void well, we get that huge damage reduction. You could also throw on your champion mods in this slot, or throw on Bolstering Detonation or Focusing Strike if you don't need champion mods. On our boots, we have Recuperation and Innervation, so when we pick up those Orbs of Power that we're creating, we're healing off of them and getting grenade energy. And then we have Font of Might to add that 25% weapon damage boost to our secondary trace rifle and our heavy machine gun, which just help trigger the volatile explosions quicker. And then on our class item, we have Elemental Time Dilation, so we're making Font of Might last about 15 seconds and we're making Well of Tenacity last 8 seconds. And then you have double utility kickstart on the class item just to loop the dodge back even faster. I hope you all found this video helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. This is the Nightstalker perfected. We'll do the Titan next, and that'll cover the 3 void subclasses. We've already done the Warlock, so if you haven't given that a watch, make sure you guys give it a watch. It's really great. And then we'll push on to the next subclass. Let me know down in the comments if you guys want Stasis, if you want Solar, or if you want Arc next for the next breakdown of the 3 classes. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.